Okay, today's class is continuation to the built-in modules of the Python. Okay, so already we discussed the modules, OS module, that is operating system interface. Okay, and we discussed the strings and pattern matching module. Okay, that is a regular expressions module. Okay, now today we'll start with the math module. Okay, this mathematics module is similar to the math functions that we have already used in the Python programming. Okay, so we'll see once again that functions and simple examples to the math functions. Okay, the math module is one of the standard module and which is already installed within your Python. Okay, we can use that same mathematics functions by importing the math module. Okay, so first we need to import the math module, then we can use the mathematical functions. Okay, the first list of functions are like this: ceil of x to get the ceil value, that is a upper higher integer of the given float value. Okay, so copy the sign. Okay, so this returns the x with the sign of y. Okay, the sign of the y is copied to the x. Fabs of y, that is, it gives us absolute value of the x. Without the abs, it has the fabs function to return the absolute value. Factorial of the x to get the factorial of the given value. Floor of the x to get the lowest integer which is nearer to the your x value. In f mod of x, reminder whenever the x is divisible by the y, the remainder value you can get with the f mod. frexp, okay, this is a function to get the mantissa and exponent values of the x. Okay, that is why x is the combination of both the mantissa and exponent values. Okay, x power 2 or x square or something else. Okay, there you will get the mantissa and both exponent. And f sum, okay, this gives us the accurate floating point sum of the your given values. Okay, whenever you are giving a one list of the float values, okay, it gives us the accurate floating point sum without losing the precision value. Okay, it gives us accurate floating point sum value. Okay, and next one is the infinite of x. Okay, this is it checks that whether the x value is infinite value or a uh, some or it has some value. Okay, if it has some value, it returns the false. If it is infinite value, if we sorry is the value is a finite value, it returns the true. Otherwise, it returns the false. Okay, so idexp. Okay, this returns us the exponent value of the x. That is, it gives us x power I. Okay, or okay, x into 2 power I. Okay, so it returns us the x values multiplied with the 2 powers of I. And mod f of x, it returns the fractional and integer parts of the x. Okay, so after performing a mod operation, okay, generally it gives us only the coefficient value. Okay, but here you will get the fractional and integer parts both. That is, only will get the integer part, but here in this function we'll get both fractional and integer parts of the mod operation. Okay, so next function is the truncate. Okay, it returns a truncated integer value. That is, it will be rounded to the nearer value. Okay, whenever you are converting a float value into the integer value, okay, the value is truncated or rounded to the nearer value. And exponent value of x, okay, it gives us e power x value. X is powered with the e. And expml, okay, it returns us e power x minus 1. Okay, okay, the e power x value is subtracted by the 1. And next one is log of x. Okay, it returns the logarithm value of the x. Okay, log 10 of x, it gives us a log of x value with base 10. And power of x comma y, it returns us x comma y, x power y. Okay, okay, next square root of x, it returns us the square root value of the x. A tan 2 y comma x, it returns that a tan value of the x y by x. Okay, So in next, cos of trigonometric functions, cosine of x, and hypot, that is Euclidean normalization of square root of Euclidean normalization, that is x square plus y square value. Okay, square root of x square plus y square. Okay, sine of x value, cos the tan of x value, and it returns it gives us degrees of x is the okay, angle of x is converted from the degree radians to degrees. Okay, if you want to convert a radians value to the degrees, you can use the degrees function and radians function to convert the degrees to the radians. Okay, the next functions are a cos h. It returns hyperbolic of cos value, sin h, hyperbolic of sine value, hyperbolic of tan value. Okay, so and it returns us these three are the inverse hyperbolic values, and these three are the hyperbolic of cos, sine, and tan. Okay, and ERF of x, this is the error function of x. Okay, if there is any error in the x value, then it gives us the error value of the x. Okay, it returns as complementary. ERFC is the complementary of error function, and gamma value returns the gamma function for the x. Okay, it applies the x value with the gamma function and returns the gamma value. Okay, logarithmic gamma value, L gamma, and pi is to give the pi value. It's a constant which we can use directly to substitute the pi value, and e is a mathematical constant to get the exponential value, e value. Okay, okay, those are the functions that are available in the math module. Okay, we can use the math module like this. Okay, first we need to import the math module, then we can apply one by one functions of the math module. Okay, math.pi to get the pi value, math.e to get the e value. So to convert into the radians, to convert into the degrees. Okay, sine value, cos value, tan values, and log of 10 value. Log of 10 is with the, it finds with the base 2, and log of 10, it finds the log 10 value with the base 10. Okay, exp of 10 e power 10 value, and math of math dot e power 10. Okay, like this also we can do to find the e power 10 value. Okay, and power of 2 comma 4, 2 power 4, like this also we can do square root of the number. Okay, the square root of the number, seal of the value. Okay, it rounds to the nearer highest integer. 4 is rounded to the 5. Floor is nearer to the lowest integer is the 4. Okay, this is our math module. Okay, then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, note down these functions and practice it out. Okay, next. Okay, next we'll see the internet access module. Okay, that is how we can access the internet through the our Python program. Okay, so in this module we have the two packages. Okay, one is the SMTP lib, another one is the URL lib. Okay, like this we have two modules. Okay, SMTP is the full form is simple mail transfer protocol. This protocol is especially used to send the mails from the one system to another system, or one mail account to another mail account. Okay, so it sends a mail from our Python program to the another direct to the mail servers. Okay, for that our Python provides us SMTP lib module. Okay, which can be used to send the module, send the mail. Okay, this is the how we can import SMTP lib. Okay, import SMTP lib, and within that next we need to create a object for the SMTP lib. So we can call the class of SMTP lib is SMTP lib dot SMTP is the class. Okay, so for that we need to specify the host name, that is a system name from which we want to send the mail, and port number. Okay, this is the logical port, we'll call it as. For each and every system, for each and every server we have a one unique number, that is a port number, and local host name. Okay, the local system name. Okay, we'll see the example for this. So write a program to send the email to any mail address. Okay, first we need to import the SMTP lib. Okay, this is by mistake get into the previous line. It should be in the new line. Okay, from email. from this, that is from the SMTP lib, we are importing a class as the email class. From that we are importing the email mime text. Okay, so that is for sending of the email we need some information to be added to the email. Okay, for that we are importing a package is the text. For importing that we are importing the text module. Next, import the mime text module. Okay, so this converts us our mail text into the text which is understandable by our internet servers. Next, we are creating all the variables which are required to send the mail. Okay, body is message you want to send. Okay, the message, whatever the message you want to pass the message. Okay, then we are assigning that MSG message, the body to the MSG variable mime text of body. Okay, it converts us this text into the some plain message. Next, we are assigning the from address at gmail.com, that is our address. To address, the address which is to be used to send the mail, the to address. And next, message MSG of form from is equals to from address. Okay, okay, that is we are assigning these all values to the one dictionary. Okay, so MSG is it creates as a dictionary. Within that we are adding we are storing all these values. First the body text. Okay, then we are storing the from address, then we are storing the to address, then the subject of the mail. Okay, so now we are creating a SMTP object, smtp lib.smtp of smtp.gmail.com. Okay, this is the Gmail host name and this is the port of the Gmail server. Okay, next we are starting the server.starttls. Then we are logging to the our required username and password, that is our Gmail account address and the password, that is our ID and password. Okay, next we are sending the mail. Then we are giving a from address, to address, message as string. MSG dictionary is converted as a string and that is sent. Okay, then we are printing a message as mail sent and then quit the server. Okay, here the server is started and send the mail and quit the server. Okay, here it creates a server. That is, we are creating a link to the Gmail server, and after that we are logging into the our user, and we are sending a mail and quit the server. Okay, I'll get the output as mail sent. Okay, so we can check whether the mail is sent properly or not by logging into the to address. Okay, that we can do manually. Okay. Next example we'll see. Okay, URL lib. Okay, this is the module which is used to retrieve the information from the given URLs. Okay, so URL lib.request. Okay, for that, first import the URL lib.request. From that, you will be import the URL open. Okay, now with URL open, okay, module, we are opening a URL is this. Okay, these are some of the URL from an internet website. Okay, that's some timer.pl as response. Okay, so this URL is opened with the URL open class function, and that is created as a object is a response object. Okay, and from that response object we are getting the one by one line. For line in response, okay, we are taking a one by one line from this response object. Line dot decode of UTF-8, that is, this is decoded into the normal plain text. Okay, so this is repeated for the number of lines in the response. Okay, then we are printing the text. Okay, this is actually the file is for to display the current system date and time. Okay, okay, this is one of the file that is having within the net. Okay, otherwise you can try with the Google websites or any other website that you want to open. Okay, so we just converting that time into the EST or EDT and printing the line. Okay, this is the output of that. Okay, next we'll see the our next module. Okay, this is the date and time module. Okay, so this module is used to retrieve the date and time information from the system. Okay, and this module will cover in the next class. Okay.